Hey folks, it's Ron Howard Extreme Sequences bringing you the first tutorial of 2019. Oh my goodness. I have to tell you, I'm in a lot of pain right now, so we'll see how far I get with this tutorial. Removing rebar and all the yard stuff yesterday has put me in a bit of discomfort, but we will get through this. I have four lovely models here from Gilbert Engineering. He was nice enough to let me play with some of his designs and create some fun things. And I wanted to go over modeling and modeling groups and the hierarchy of modeling groups and where they fit in xLights and how to make them do really cool things. And sometimes there's a lot of confusion out there about, do I put my whole house models at the top and what do I put under it? I don't know. This is all crazy and new to me. Well, it's not that difficult. There's a few rules you can follow, and as you know, I hate rules. I'm going to break a few of those. But I want to get into this, and I'm only using four of these. And so we have a magic wheel, we have a spin flake, we got a spin pie, love the name, and then we have a flake 48. I did not do the submodel on this one. It was already done, but I did on these guys here, I believe. Maybe this one I didn't. I don't remember. But anyway. Or maybe I did. I want to show you this one first because this was already done, and this has the submodel set up in such a way that it's cool, but I do it a little bit differently. Notice that these are all put in here in one section, outer arrows. I prefer to make these individual models and then put them in a group, or submodels that is, and then put them in a group. Same thing with the middle spikes. I've got a inner flake, middle circle, all this good stuff. And then we have the arms here. There we go. Liking the arms. Cool. And then yet again, another inner spinner. Fine. So when I do these, I take this approach. Let me scoot this over here so you can see it. I have my spoke 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I have the circle, outer circle, and then my arrows. And I just chose these because I thought maybe they'll look cool. Maybe they won't, but maybe they will. And the same thing with this guy here. If we look at the submodels, you can see, let's just open this up a little bit more here for you. You can see I've got my inner ring, and then an outer ring, and then I called these ribs, and I just chose those four little nodes to create the ribs, and of course the outline. So why go to the trouble of creating all this stuff? And of course, many of you know that it's pretty easy to create these submodels for custom models using the tool sets that are in here. And there's a lot of good eye candy and functionality in here. Maybe we can go over that in another video. Let me know if you want to see it. If not, and say, gosh, Ron, there's 10,000 videos already. I don't want to hear you talk anymore about this. I've seen it. Then that's cool. But if anybody wants to see more about how to do this kind of stuff and why I chose to go this way or this way, just let me know. Fair enough. Let's get out of here. Let's talk about how we set this up. If we look at all the various submodel components for each of these models, you'll notice that up here, I have put in what belongs to it. So for my 24 pi arrows group, I've put all the arrows. Same thing for the circles, for the spokes, for the spin flake, the circles, spin flake, the ribs, for the GE arm. Now this one just happened to be all 8, or I should say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's good. And that's kind of it. When we create the submodels, we have to make sure that they do come over. So I have put these at the top for us. If I right click on here and go to edit display elements, or if you don't know this, that's what this little button up here is for, display elements. It'll pull that over. I have two views. I've always used this. I know a lot of people use master view and that works fine, but I started having two views from the very beginning in 2016, so I've just kind of kept that. So what I have to do is make sure that whatever I'm using in house view, it better match in master view, because the master view is the one that decides the rendering order. This is the most critical one to get correct. So my whole house is always at the top. So when I put an effect on my whole house, everything happens. But then I say, you know what? Maybe I want my windows to do some type of single line effect. Great. Then the windows take over and void out what the whole house was controlling on the windows, and so on and so on and so on. So I have put my mega wheel Mega Magic Wheel 2 here, and then all the submodels under it. Because if I put a butterfly effect on this and then decide I want to do something different with the ribs or the spokes, the rest of the model will remain the same, but only the spokes will deviate with what I tell it to do. And the same thing with all these other models, all the way down to the GE Flake 48 with its arms. And that's all we're really going to concentrate on. You'll notice when I go to my whole house, or my house all, that I sequence out of most of the time, you'll see that it has the same thing. GE 48, and then below that will be the arms, the Mega Magic Wheel 2, and below that will be the Mega Magic Wheel spokes and triangle. Then the Spin Flake has the circle and rib submodels, and then the Pi Flake has the Pi Arrow circles and spokes underneath that. So that's all we have to worry about. Now, if I change this order in here, no big deal, because what's going to override it is this. So let's imagine that I have this set up in here correctly, but in my master view, I have my Mega Magic Wheel somewhere down the list here. The effects are not going to look correct. You're going to go, what did I do wrong? And you're going to realize you've got one of these placed in the wrong order. Okay? Let's get out of here. Everything looks fine. Remember, when you make changes in here, it's a good idea to save it. It's old habit for me. Just go to save, because it will be read if you make any changes in there. Here we are. Let's drag an effect. Let's get creative with a Mega Magic Wheel. All right. Look. It's white. Well, let's do something different with the spokes. Let's just pull this down, and let's make this red. And let's change this to vertical, and let's speed that up a little bit. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Kind of cool. Kind of cool. Now, notice when I go back up and click on the main model effect, you see everything, and then you see what the spokes are doing. Pretty cool, huh? Now, ignore this 3. That should not even be in there. Why is that in there? And watch what I'm going to do to get rid of this. I should not have a Mega Magic Wheel 3s in here at all. Oh, and that's Master View. So let's do this. Let's go to House All, and we won't worry about it. See, that's so much better. And there we go. And now let's put, let's go with a pinwheel for the triangles. And let's go with a different color. Let's just go with blue, right? And let's thicken this up a little bit. Ooh. Oh, man, I wish I had that model when I was doing my Star Wars, the Imperial March. That's pretty dope looking. Did I just reference a 1980s term, dope looking? I did. It still works. It's dope. All right, here we go. Let's look at this. So let's go to the very top. Click on that. So I've got this effect here, the spokes doing its thing. I've got this effect here, the triangles doing this thing. And then I've got this guy up here. Well, that's pretty cool. But what if I wanted the Mickey head to do something completely different? Well, I think we should. And you'll notice in the submodels, I've got all these different components. Look, here's the head. So let's make Mickey, let's make him spin a different way. And let's go with red, and we'll put him on single line. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Let's speed it up a little bit. Oh, that's pretty cool. And I think the only other thing I'm going to do here is, the white's okay. I could change that color, I suppose. Nah, let's leave it alone. I like that. So this gives you an idea. Now I'm going to double click on this main model so it closes it up. See, I open it up. You see all the individual spokes, right? Now, what would happen if I put something on an individual spoke up here? Let's just change this to spoke 2 to a solid color. And let's make that solid color blue. Why is that not working? I am telling it to be blue. If I go over here, look at that. It's blue. That should be blue. Why is it not blue when it's here? Well, That's because the submodel underneath it takes priority because it is beneath the main model. So if I wanted this, and let me just Control X cut that. Let's zip that back up. If I wanted that spoke to be a certain color, I could go in here and now I could make that spoke a solid blue. Or so at least I think I could, unless I'm probably in something else. Let's see what we got here. We got, oh, that's way down there, way down there. And if I click on this up here, yeah, I don't like that. We're not ever going to do that. Don't ever do that. Look at me complicating this. No sense in it. So I hope this kind of clearly illustrates the purpose and hierarchy of putting a model and the submodels and in what layers they need to be in that order. It's really, really important. So let's do another one. Let's just start here with good old-fashioned, let's go with a spin flake. The whole thing is going to have this. We're going to change the radius. That looks good to me. I kind of like the effect. I don't know if I do anything else, but we're going to. And we're going to add something to the circles beneath it. We'll make this blue so we can see the difference. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Blue, blue, blue. And we'll put this on vertical. Let's go overlay center. And let's, there we go. And I'm going to click on the top one so we can see it. Ah, look at that. Pretty cool stuff, right? Let's go with the pie flake. I'm thinking let's go with this guy here. And let's change this to single line. That's pretty boring. Let's just go back to default. That really is boring, isn't it? All right. And then we can pull over. Let's pull over spinner effect here. Let's thicken that up a little bit. Let's go in here and pull this guy down here for the spokes. This will be interesting. We'll make this a different color or two. Let's make this ugly green and blue and make the end thicker. Radius 2. Man, that is just not looking so pretty, is it? Oh, there it goes. And if we go back to the top, this is what we get. And you see the inner radius starting to expand. It's going to come out and it will take over the rest of that, which is kind of a cool thing. It's not bad, but it gives you so much control. And keep in mind, we're not even doing anything with multiple layers. Imagine when you start adding multiple layers to these individual components, all the cool things you can do. So that's really it. That's all I wanted to show you was how I approach creating some of these submodels, how I break them down individually into these groups. I can sequence at the group level, which gives me a lot of control to do cool things. Even if we take certain things off, if we just get rid of this and we only concentrate on the pi arrow, that group, that's a cool, fun thing to do. And then you can start experimenting with these different layer settings. If I put this on overlay center, then you get a completely different look. If I change this to my vertical per model per strand, you can get a completely different look. Horizontal. It all depends on how it's configured, how it's wired. Hopefully your wiring does match what you've got in xLights. That's pretty important. And I kind of like that one the best right there. I really do. That's kind of cool. And nothing old. There we go. I really, really, really like that. And then if I was going to do something kind of clever, I might go down here to the spokes. And I might do a from middle. Change this to vertical. Let's speed this puppy up. Let's give it a different color. There we go. And let's really make that thing fast. Ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. Go back up here. What's the whole thing look like? Yeah, buddy. Yes. I'm liking it. And then if I wanted to, we could drag a solid color up here just to see what it would fill in. Let's give that the color of, I don't know, like a light blue and see what it does. We'll click on that one now. And so now you can see that one start to come through. So again, there's no right or wrong. It's just what looks good to you. I hate to use the word rules. I'll just say best practices. So if you have any questions, let me know. We've gone 15 minutes, which is exactly 9 minutes and 39 seconds too long. It takes a little more time to really explain this. It's all about repetition. I hope you appreciate that. Please practice with these submodels. They're absolutely key in making your effects look awesome. And you can do it at the group level, which will save you some time. All right, folks, gotta run. See ya.